Hey, what's going on, guys? So, this is video 2. This fucking yellow jacket came after me. So, let me try to remember what I was talking about. So, yesterday we were going, people were asking about high foot placement, low foot placement on the leg press and the hack squat and the bar. I'm going to try to go over that a little bit. Try not to make this video too long so you guys actually pick up on what the hell I'm saying. But yeah, so a lot of people don't understand that you can't just jump on, you can, but if you jump on a piece of equipment, depending on where you put your feet, it's going to target a specific muscle group more than in the others. So if you're on a leg press or hack squat, it's kind of the same. Hack squat's generally more going to be a quad dominant movement no matter what, but a leg press you can kind of manipulate your stuff around a little bit, but on the hack squat it kind of applies too. It's basically the same movement, it's just a different angle. So the higher and wider you go on your foot placement, say you're laying on a leg press or you're on a hack squat, if you go up and out with your feet, it's going to be mostly in your hamstrings and your posterior chain, so the back part of your body, so your glutes, your hamstrings, all that power back there, it's going to be hitting there. So and most of the time you can do more weight that way. So you'll see people just stacking on a shitload of fucking plates, and then they'll go high and wide, and they'll do little halvesy reps. But that's just because your range of motion is a lot wider, and it activates a bigger muscle group. Now, the lower you go, or the lower down on the platform you go, and the closer you get your feet together, the more it's going to be on your quads. So, but be very careful with that, because if you start to look as you do it, it's your knee's going to be driving over your feet. So once your knee goes over your feet and starts going past your toes, it's all quad, but it's a lot of strain on your ligaments in your knee. So be very, very, very careful and progressively build up to it. It's not against anything, but don't just jump in and do a shitload of weight and then all of a sudden you're having fucking knee pain because you're putting a lot of strain, or you have an actual injury from it. So slowly build into it, get your mobility up to where you can be able to do that, and then make sure your feet stay flat on that platform. Once your heels start coming up, you need to move them out and move them up a little bit. So if you're really low and you're trying to do weight and your heels are just coming straight up and you're basically on your tippy toes, you're putting a lot of strain on your knees, and it's really not worth it, the movement that you're doing. You're not getting the benefit out of it. So flatten them out, get them a little bit wider, get your mobility going, maybe warm up and open up your hips. A lot of people, it's their hip flexor that really messes with them. But as you move your feet up and out, you'll start to feel more comfortable, because your hips it'll open up room for your hips, and you'll be able to get into it, and then your posterior chain will start to activate a little bit more, which is a stronger muscle group for most people. Some people are quad dominant, but it just really depends on your training style and stuff like that too. And then when it comes to back squats, so there's 2 different types of back squats that a lot of people don't know about when it comes to the barbell placement. So you have a high bar and a low bar placement. Now that's talking about where it is on your back. So you can have it up above the traps right here, where you have the little nugget sticking out if you have like bigger traps or whatever. So that's a hard bar placement. That's going to be, it's going to force you back more into the squat. It's going to drive your knees over your toes, and that's going to be much more quad involved. So if you have knee problems, I wouldn't recommend doing a high bar placement. If you have any kind of knee problems or really back problems, then you can put the bar below your traps and then along the back part of your shoulder blade right there. I don't think you're going to be able to see it. I'll send you guys a video of somebody that's a fitness influencer or something that's doing it, that'll be able to explain it a little bit better. But that will actually drive you forward more, so you'll almost be squatting forward, but it'll all be in your posterior chain, your hamstrings. It is a lot safer on your knees though. So you just have to pick which one benefits you better on whatever, or alternate the 2 of them, but just make sure that you're compensating for weight when it comes to those 2 too. All right, I have a hack squat set up over here. There's a friggin' yellow jacket that's really pissed off at me. I need to clean up my garage a little better. But let's see if we can I can show you guys the difference here. Oh, this fucking yellow jacket comes for me. All right, so what I was talking about, you can kind of see. So this is a hack squat setup. So the farther down you're going to be here, see how my feet are farther on the platform, it's going to drive, you can already see, it's going to drive my feet. It's going to drive my knees over my toes. You can already see my range of motion. My knees are already going over my toes. So if I bring them out, when I bring them up on the platform, as I go down, my knees are staying back behind my toes. That's posterior chain, that's hamstrings and glutes down here. As I start to go down, you're going to see them drive forward way more over my toes. That's all quads right there. The same concept for leg press is exactly the same. So I hope that kind of clarified some stuff up. If you have any more questions, let me know. Like I said, I'll throw somebody that gets paid to do this shit, their video on there. I'm sure they'll explain it a little bit better. If it's still confusing, reach out to me and we can talk on the phone or something like that, and I kind of explain it, maybe make another video of different angle or something like that for you. However it works for you guys, I'm here to help whatever questions you got. All right, hope that didn't fucking confuse the shit out of anybody, but I guess we'll see in the comments. All right.